Hang on. What's going on here? Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Pardon me for 1 second. Alright. And there we go. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. You know, VC face. Doesn't always want to work. Welcome to the stream. Today, we are going to be continuing our Minecraft Skyblock Let's Play. Logged into the game today to get everything set up for stream, and our nether portal immediately lit. So, that's where we're going to pick up at. Haven't done anything else. It just caught fire and lit. So, let's get our timer going here. We were right at around 2 hours and 10 minutes in. We're going to pick up from there. So, welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you have a fun time. Alright. So, now that we have another portal up and running, let's collect our wood back up so we don't waste this. Never let perfectly good wood go to waste. Right now, our goal is to chop down these trees so we can get our saplings back and hopefully get some food here soon. We do have this growing, which I think this might be ready. It is! Awesome. So now, we can plant some more seeds and hopefully get those growing while we chop down these trees. Alright. So how's everybody doing tonight? Everything going well? Thankfully, not too bad of snow and weather today, although it's supposed to be a pretty big snowstorm coming in tonight, so things will get interesting for sure. Let's drop our wheat in here for the time being and our extra sugar cane. Try to break some of these. I'm still working on the Skyblock's goals, so for the time being, we're going to have to, once I get that document done, I'll get it posted on the About page so you guys can see it. But we're still in the very early stages, so if you guys are just joining, you haven't missed much. Just trying to break as many of these leaves as we can reach. Alright. And back to our important thing we need to grab. Oh, we had our bucket on us the whole time. We want to go grab our lava and put it back so we don't lose it. Alright. Unfortunately, we can't sprint anymore. We're out of sprint. Lower. Let's just take some cobblestone and slap it on top there. Alright. Let's take a look at what's inside our nether portal here. Yeah, it's going to be easier to do it this way. And let's see what the nether has in store for us. Okay. That's a weird glitch if I've ever seen one. 2 portals. Oh, fire charge. That's not particularly helpful. But let's see what we're working with here. So that appears to be the nether fortress we were provided. And see if we can kind of sneak around here. Over there looks like Soul Sand Valley. But yeah. So we're going to definitely need blocks here in the nether to get anywhere. But looks like there's at least one island in that direction, so that's our goal. Try to explore out that way at least a little bit. Alrighty. Okay. Could have been a whole lot worse. Not too bad, though. At least we weren't immediately attacked by something on our spawn island. Alright. Let's go check our mushrooms and see if anything's happened out here. Probably not. They tend to only really spawn when you're within range of them. but we don't have a silk touch pickaxe or any sort of tool to get our mushrooms, our mycelium, over to our main island yet. So we're just kind of gonna have to make the journey out here and see if we got lucky. Nope, unfortunately not. So we'll head back to the main island. I think wheat's going to be our main food source for the time being, as soon as we get our little wheat farm to grow a little bit faster. All right. So yeah, it's pretty it's going to be a pretty chill stream today, guys. Nothing crazy going on. Nothing super exciting. For sure, we are definitely going to hope and pray that our plants here grow, because our sweet berries are going to be a good source of food too. And we're just waiting for glow berries to actually cooperate. Let's see. We can craft some snow blocks while we're waiting, because these are going to be useful for a snow golem when we find the iron to make shears, so we can carve a pumpkin. And a snow golem can be used to create an infinite snow farm, which is super helpful. Alright. Let's plant some more trees while we're waiting. So yeah, I apologize for not streaming yesterday, guys. There were some technical difficulties just before stream. Windows and OBS decided it didn't like my my capture card's audio inputs, so it decided, no, we're not going to let you hear the game. So we couldn't stream the casual player's attempt at speedrunning Super Mario Odyssey. It was going to be a pretty rough run anyways. I haven't played Odyssey much in the past couple of years, especially not recently. So I was kind of brushing up on my skills a little bit, but I'm still definitely not a speedrunner by any means, or a pro at games. I'm kind of a newbie. Like, I've been playing games for years, like ever since I was a kid, but I kind of grew up in a rural area, so I didn't really have a good internet connection until I went to college. So I really didn't play that many, like, competitive games. I didn't spend a whole lot of time, doing multiplayer games with people. I was mainly just, playing games like Final Fantasy 12 and, Pokemon. I did play some like Need for Speed and a few other, racing type games, but it was mainly just kind of solo, single player, story based games. Not a huge, like, aggressive player by any means. So when I see these guys that are like the crazy CSGO guys that can snipe a headshot from a million miles away, it's like, whoo! I would love to be able to do that, but I just don't have the skill, But hey, there's no point in sitting around moping about it. Can always try, right? But speaking of games I played as a kid, ooh, glowberries. Good, we've got some food. A little bit of food's better than none. Speaking of games I played as a kid, I was actually a big Minecraft kid. Not in the very earliest days of Minecraft, but pardon me for 1 second. Let me just toggle that so I can sit here. Not in the earliest days of Minecraft. I picked up post-beta. I had heard about Minecraft when it first came out, but I didn't really get into it until, oh god, I think it was pre 1.9, the combat update, because I can remember when, you know, spamming attack was how you did combat. Oh crap. We need our axe. Oh shit. This is gonna be bad. Let's crap. Alright, hide in the hole. So yeah. Was definitely pre-Phantom days, I can tell you that much. These guys are new. I am not prepared for this. Back off. Oh, I hate phantoms. We're just gonna... Oh, day's coming. We'll just hold out until they go away. No. Go away. Jesus. Just wait till they burn in the sunlight. Whew. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I picked up Minecraft post, well, just before 1.9, but I was mainly on Pocket Edition. So, because growing up I didn't have a gaming PC of any kind. I was very much just a console gamer. Let's eat this apple while we're waiting to try to get our food up at least a little bit. But yeah, I was a console gamer primarily. I had like a Nintendo 64 and like a PlayStation 2, Game Boy Advance, and it was a real game changer when I went to college, because then I kind of got into computers more. I had the options available to me, but I mean, I've always had an interest in computers. I always thought they were interesting. It's just when you kind of grow up in a rural community where there's not a whole lot of money coming in, getting, you know, all the fancy new computer gadgets is kind of difficult. But once I built my first computer in college, things kind of changed from there. Got into a lot more stuff when I finally had a little bit of disposable income and just a source of... Oh, God. That's going to be tricky. Trying to collect from these. Easy there, bud. Oh, there go those slabs. Let's just dig around this. Okay. We do not want to do that again. Okay. I think sweet berries heal 1. Yes, they restore 1 hunger bar. So that's good, at least. No glowberries on that one. That's fine. Anyway. Ooh, more sweet berries. Yes. Let's do this. Once we get enough... You gonna cooperate and give it to me? Yes! We have food, which means we can heal. Yay! Things are coming up daisies. Alright. Anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, college, picked up computers more, really got into it. That's kind of where I ended up taking my career path. Kind of a roundabout way to get there, but I did eventually get there. And basically, my whole outlook on things changed once I realized that I had a natural kind of... How can you put it? A natural inclination to computers. A natural talent with them. I could kind of understand how they work on a fundamental level better than I could in most other things. But once I found that as my career path, I tried to do any sort of work I could that involved the subject. So stuff like, fixing them, working on them, all that stuff. Network deployments and other crazy funny tech terms that to an average person are going to mean absolutely nothing but gibberish. But yeah, so just kind of got into the hobby. Watch a lot of Linus Tech Tips just for the hilarity of it. They do get some things wrong. Obviously, they're not perfect, but they give you quite a good introduction to computers if you're kind of getting into it, but you're not 100% sure. If you want a good, good funny comedy, a lot of good production value too. They spend a lot of money on their production, which is good to see. Scary thing is I've seen big budget movies that have lower production values than YouTube channels like Linus Tech Tips. But some good ones, if there's anybody in the audience who is interested in that sort of stuff, check out Linus Tech Tips. You can check out Jay's 2 Cents. Jay is hilarious. If you're looking for, I guess the best way to describe him would be the slightly... How can I describe him? He's very much a dad type. Makes sense, he is a dad. But, he's got a very dad mentality to him. He's an absolute goofball. He's hilarious. Once you get into the tech space a little bit more and you get more acclimated to it, Gamers Nexus is very good for tech news. They make a very concise, well-documented tech news type channel. And they do benchmarking stuff and testing stuff and all that. They do some good stuff. But okay, let's see. Can we build this out a little bit so at least it looks somewhat presentable? Also, I'm gonna do something kind of dumb. There we go. Just want to reclaim as much of my dirt as I can. Okay. Alright. Now, what's the next thing we want to go to? Ooh, we got 4 sweet berries this time. Nice! Oh. I did not want to do that. I'm just going to break that one, just so it's at least consistent. Alright. At least we got some food. Okay. Let's take to expanding our island here a little bit. So F3 and G for chunk borders? Yes. Okay. Let's expand it out to fill a couple chunks here. One of the goals that I have on the list is to... Welcome to the stream, Martin. It's good to see you again. So one of the goals on our list is to expand our little base here to kind of encompass 4 chunks, which is just kind of an arbitrary number that I picked because it seems like it'd give us enough space to do stuff with, build a proper tree farm and everything else. So we're gonna, that's kind of what we're working on today, just kind of expanding things out from there. All right. All right. And this is just the dangerous part of building in Minecraft. In Skyblock, you can always end up falling off if you're not careful. Whew. All right. All right. All right. That's one chunk done. Almost done. Just keep double placing these guys. All right. Let's go check on our farms here. Sugarcane grew again. Plop these down. Oh. All right. Let's get more of these planted, shall we? Easy. I will eat 2. All right. Good. We're getting back up to a reasonable level of health. All right. Oh. I don't know about anybody else, but I always hate when that happens. Okay. Let's just do a little thing here. We're just gonna hide for the night while we're waiting for things to grow. How's everybody doing? The ambiance with the rain is nice, at least. The one thing you can always say about Minecraft is there's never a point where you don't feel like you're a part of the environment, you know? Whether it's a rainstorm or when you're just kind of wandering around. Sorry to hear that, Martin. But there's always that ambiance to the area. It's especially nice when you kind of wander up a mountainside and then suddenly it starts to snow. That is always the kind of the epitome of just awesome Minecraft, you know, immersion in the world. Oh, jeez. Oh, these snowberries hurt. Right, let's just eat these. Gotta regain some health here. So yeah. Until we get some sheep, which we'll have to create a nice big grass patch here soon. And get some sheep to hopefully spawn. And at that point we'll actually be able to get a bed built. But otherwise we just gotta hide out from the storm and hide underneath our little enclosure here to keep the phantoms from spawning. So yeah, everything's chill and peaceful. Nothing super crazy is going on. Again, shout out to Base Rebels, the wonderful people that allow this music to be played on stream without copyright issue. They're an awesome group of individuals who care about small creators. And for anybody who's been on the internet for any sort of period of time, DMCA takedowns are some of the worst things you're going to have to deal with as a creator. Thankfully, I've taken some precautions from the get-go to avoid anything like that. But you never know when somebody's going to make a DMCA claim against you for one thing or another. But with the precautions I've taken, hopefully we shouldn't have to deal with that very much. And I've used up all my slabs already. Wow. Did not expect that. Alright, let's throw all but... let's drop 8 in here, because that's how much a coal can produce. Drop a charcoal in. And we're going to make some more torches. Perfect. Alright. So, let's grab a little bit of our dirt. Oh, I only have 2 dirt. That's a problem. Ooh, found some extra cobble, though. Let's see. Okay. Let's do a little bit of redecorating, shall we? Alright. A couple cobblestone slabs should be fine. Okay. And we're gonna break that. And we're gonna take our... break this guy here. Grab our dirt, and we're gonna make a couple holes here. Drop one of those there, and pop a torch next to it. So typically, for what we're building here is a rudimentary tree farm. You kind of want, you know, like 5 or 6 blocks between your trees. So we're gonna shoot for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a tree is gonna go there. And just broke our pickaxe. But we're gonna put another torch here. Pop a sapling there. Probably just gonna do 3 by 3 here. We're gonna do, 3 by probably 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just so that way we have a reasonably sized area for tree growth. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna pop a hole here. And pop a tree in. Just gonna put a stone slab there. Perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. So here. Ooh, I need more saplings. Ooh, our wheat is growing quite nicely. Albeit a little slow, but it's growing. Alright. Ooh, we're up to 10 sugarcane. That's pretty good. Okay. Perfect. We're going to eat 2 of our snowberries here. Actually, we're just going to eat all of our snowberries. Try to regain some health here. Unfortunately, snowberries don't provide a whole lot in the way of saturation, which is what provides the majority of your healing in Minecraft. Alright. Let's grab our saplings like I intended. Got distracted, so I need 2 more saplings. Pop one there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, a torch, and a sapling. All right. Excellent. So yeah, we're just kind of... It's going to be a chill day today, guys. I'm not expecting a whole lot of excitement. The first early stages of Skyblock are gonna be kind of slow. It happens. There's really not much you can do to speed things up. I mean, other than obviously cheating. If oh, shoot. I knew that was coming. Good news is, I actually have some health, so we can deal with these guys. Come on. That's it. Mother trucker. Because you're good XP. Come here. The hard part is, because it's raining, they're not going to burn. But, come on. Oh! Zombie pigman. Well, zombie piglin. I can remember back when they were called zombie pigmen. That was a long time ago. Got one? Ah, come here. Taking some heavy hits here, but got that one. Come here, buddy. That's it. There we go. Okay. Now, this is dangerous. Probably shouldn't kill him. But he is the only one, so... You don't earn anything in life without taking risks, right? Hey, we got a gold nugget. Gold nuggets are useful. Alright. And our tree grew. Would you look at that? Lovely. Okay. Things are looking up. We can take off chunk borders for now, while we wait for our farm to grow. And just kind of break some of these a little bit. Oh, and there goes the rain. Lovely. Okay. And our berries are ready to harvest. Good, because we need some more health. Because those phantoms took a heck of a lot of health off of us. Alright. 6 of them. Excellent. Okay. And we've got 8 more charcoal, which is good. Let's make our logs into planks here, and we're gonna make ourselves a couple chests. Actually, we're gonna put it right there. Don't need the shovel for now. Let's see, F3G. Let's make, probably right here, a double chest. I'll take another chest here. Transfer all our stuff over to these chests. Leave the dandelion for now. We'll sort through this stuff in a little bit. I need a pickaxe. Keep that. Need my sweet berries. I don't need the wooden axe. Okay. And then we're just gonna take the dandelion. We'll break this chest here. And don't worry, guys. We're definitely gonna reorganize everything here later. I fully plan on having a large storage system. Once we get hoppers and redstone, we're definitely gonna get a auto sorting system. So that way, if I've got a full inventory of stuff, I can just chuck it in and it'll sort it all for us. Would save a whole lot of time and effort that way. But we've got a reliable food source, so that's good. Our tree farm is starting to produce trees, which is excellent. So now we can switch our production of blocks from cobblestone specifically to wood, because wood is far more renewable and a whole lot less work. Alright, let me see if I've got a sapling. Grab a sapling here. Perfect. That replaces the sapling. Ooh, another tree grew. Let's make some slabs here real quick, though. And we'll just expand this out a little bit. Alright. Just so that way if anything falls, it falls on the platform. We'll do the same on the other side. Alright, that's one side. Now let's get the other. Just so that way we don't lose anything if it happens to start trying to fall off the platform on us. Okay. And don't worry, guys, once we get a little bit later in the game and we've got more resources and things are automated, we will rebuild the platform. We're going to rebuild our original island, all the stuff you come to expect from Skyblock playthroughs from other creators. But we'll have some unique goals as well. I'd love your input, guys, if you have any specific things you want to see us do. If it's within the realm of possibility, we'll do it. Alright. Let's check on our food supply here. We're going to have to figure out a better way to do this. Probably move our cobblestone generator to a different spot here soon. Let's get some cobblestone and we'll start working on that too. Because this kind of, pardon my French, but cobbled together cobblestone generator is not the greatest. But, okay. Let's eat our sweet berries. Perfect. Let's get just like a stack of cobblestone here. All right. Oh. So yeah, this is the early stages of Skyblock. Lots of repetitive tasks. But I'm glad you guys stopped out to watch the stream. Don't feel like you have to chat or anything if you're here. Lurkers are perfectly welcome. 9 times out of 10, if I'm watching a stream, I'm usually a lurker. Just because, little social anxiety, but once you kind of, I kind of made the decision to start streaming just because I knew it would push me out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I figured it'd be fun. Obviously, goal is to eventually get to affiliate and eventually partner if we can. Like, I'm not It's not that I'm not optimistic, but I'm hopeful. We can probably get there. But obviously, we all have to start somewhere. I think one of the most inspirational streamers that I've had the courtesy of watching, glowberries, that I've watched for a long time is Smallland. I mean, he started streaming quite a few years ago, and he started with, of all things, making Legend of Zelda maps in Little Big Planet. And he's talked about this on stream multiple times. So that's kind of, you know, Minecraft obviously isn't Little Big Planet, but oh, jeez. All right. We all kind of have to start somewhere, and Minecraft and the variety of games that I play are kind of where I started. Ooh, an apple. We're gonna start putting these away. Try not to eat those if we can. We're gonna need a lot of golden apples over the course of the run. Okay, let's move this guy here as well. Move our furnace over here, just so it's kind of out of the way a little bit, and we can break these. All right. We can just block this up for now and break our sugarcane. We can always replant it later. Make sure we got our bucket here, because we're going to do what is considered the most dangerous thing you can do in early Skyblock, which is move your lava source anywhere. The less you can move your lava source around, the better. Just because it does pose a danger every time you do. But where we have it now is so inconvenient that moving it's kind of a necessity at this point. Alright. Let's grab as much of our dirt here as we can manage. Let's pop a... yeah, let's grab an oak plank. Boop. Perfect. Alright. Okay. So, let's put our... let's put our cobblestone generator, like, right here. So... let's make a flat platform that's like 3 or 4 blocks wide. Chunk borders aren't necessary right now. Let's see. So... there's the hole. Yes. So that's the hole. Where the water source block will flow into. Let's just put a torch like right here for now. So okay, water source is here, flows here, falls into this hole, and then alright. And then our cobblestone is going to spawn here. So let's get... ooh, there's my cobblestone slabs. So get a slab here with a slab on top of it. So like, just like a staircase. Okay. And let's put a cobblestone block here. Alright, how do we want to do this? Let's temporarily put a block there. We'll do that, and then cover the lava. We can then break this block and put a torch right on top. Okay. This is the most dangerous part of this. So, let's save. Whew, okay. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Oop. All right, and then we can take this guy, break this block. We should have a second crafting table. Yep. We're going to take our crafting table, pop it in here, and then pop a... that could be a slab. We'll drop a slab right on top of it. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Ow. Oop. I did not mean to do that. Ow. Okay. Ow. Okay. We're just gonna do this. 2 rows of them. That way they're easy enough to harvest without being a problem. Alright. Let's put our bucket back here so it's nice and safe in case we fall. Alright. Don't want to lose those. Don't want to lose any of our dirt if possible. That's not where I wanted to put that slab. What you doing, brain? Where are you putting these silly slabs? Alright. I'm just going to plant them in rows. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So now those will grow, and harvesting them should be easier. I say that. Okay. Let those keep doing what they're doing. Okay. Perfect. Do I have a... I do have a sapling. Plant the sapling. Eat some more berries. Is that wheat grown? No, it's got one more stage left. But at least it's grown a little bit. Let's get... We're going to leave a little 4x4 patch of grass here. Reason being that we can't get grass any other way. Once the grass is gone, it's gone. But... Ooh, that was dangerous. Let's make some more cobblestone slabs while we're at it. Just to be safe. So, let's plant these. Okay. Let's grow our... Oh no! Well, there goes the dirt. That's unfortunate. that happens. Okay. And then let's work on this pile. Whoop. Almost lost that dirt, too. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Whew. Perfect. Okay, so we got a little patch of grass. No. Bad slap. Okay. Perfect. Alrighty. Another tree grew, and they're dropping saplings. So I don't know what if everybody had to pick a favorite game of all time. To be honest, I'm not sure I could pick one if I had to choose. There are so many different games that have kind of scratched different itches, if you get what I mean, over time. And, woo, 3-hour mark. So games like, you know, I mean, there are some great classic games. I mean, Final Fantasy XII is always going to have a nostalgic spot in my heart, because it was one of the first games that I ever spent over, you know, 300 plus hours in, just trying to complete everything. And, you know, I bought a Prima guide for it and all that stuff back before the internet was super common with game guides and everything. But I mean, another one that really has my heart is Pokemon Sapphire. That was that my first Pokemon game? I don't remember. I might have gotten either Fire Red or Leaf Green before that, but that's the one that stuck out in my mind because that's the one I played for so many hours. That was the first Pokemon game that I ever played that I was able to get a Pokemon up to level 100 without any sort of hacking or cheating or anything. Because in later games there are exploits you can use to get extra XP and, you know, hacking tools that you can use to give yourself infinite rare candies. And I don't know about you, but we all had that kid in our high school or middle school that had, you know, the action replay or the similar tool that, and promised you to be like, oh yeah, I can get you this and that and everything else. And it was like, you know, we all knew that kid. Some of us were that kid. I was not that kid, but I knew that kid. But I never really had the more modern consoles, because like whenever we was getting DSs, I still had a Game Boy Advance, so it was kind of you know, I didn't have the coolest, newest tech usually, but what I did have was a lot of fun playing those, you know, putting those 300, 400 plus hours into that game to get to where I was. Did I find all the secrets? No, obviously not. I was a young, dumb kid who could, you know, when I got Pokemon, I could barely read. Which, funnily enough, as an adult, sometimes I still wonder if I can barely read, but... And then I remember that I'm not completely, you know, not completely dyslexic or blind. I can read mostly. Though sometimes I do think I have at least a little dyslexia, because sometimes I just read things and it's like, huh? Or I'll read it and I'll be reciting something off of reading it and I'll say it completely wrong. And it's like, oh, that's not what's written there. Okay. Let's make some more Actually, let's make a campfire. Let's actually make a couple campfires. 2 of those. We'll save those for later. 4. 4 campfires, actually. Yeah. Save those for later. Those will be useful for when we build a mob farm. So, fun fact in Minecraft, mobs that are not immune to fire damage, so stuff that isn't from the nether, well, most of the stuff that's not from the nether, and your overworld mobs are damaged the same way a player is by a campfire. With the ability to, now, you have to be careful with some mob drops because they won't drop if you don't kill them, but you can use it for a mob farm so that the mobs drop onto it and then that kills them, and then the items filter into a hopper. And if you don't plan for it, sometimes it can be a pain to get those early on because you need logs for them. But anyway, make those into planks and make a crap ton of slabs. All right. Let's expand our island out this way a little bit. Oop. All right. So yeah, I always had those games that I really liked when I was a kid, which, if there's interest, I will definitely consider playing games like, you know, the old Pokemon games, do a Nuzlocke or something, whatever the community wants to see. I'm pretty flexible on what games I'll play. Hell, I'm not even a FPS gamer usually, but the schedule right now is we're gonna do, I guess it doesn't count as an FPS because it is a third person, but we'll be doing oh gosh, Dead Space 2 on Friday. That'll be our fill-in for the horror game Fridays, for the time being, because I know that one's a lot more people's speed rather than GTFO, because GTFO is very slow. Dead Space 2 is not nearly as much of a horror game as the original was, because Dead Space from 2008 is a very horror-heavy game. The mechanics are more inclined to a standard horror game than Dead Space 2. They went for more action-y in the second game, which I can understand why. The narrative, in my opinion, fits a horror action game more than just a standard horror game. But I can understand why some people have a differing opinion on that. I think they're both great. Like, the original Dead Space opened a whole new generation of people to proper horror. Because it was just an awesome game. Like, there is, from that era, there are no games that fill the same niche that Dead Space did. And while it may not have been super popular on launch, because it wasn't like from a huge developer, Visceral Games wasn't like huge at the time, but like because they partnered with EA, so that's how they got their major green light to actually do the project. While they weren't the biggest studio at the time, what they did with what they had access to was amazing. The amount of effects and everything else that went into the game at that stage were just crazy. Like, I was watching a YouTube video from, gosh, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's playing through the new Dead Space game, which is from a completely different developer, with the old developer, like one of the developers from the old Dead Space, the original. I think he was one of the lead writers or something for it. I don't remember exactly who it was, but he's just, and you can tell watching the video that the guy who worked on the original game is just kind of in some ways just blown away by what they're able to do with the with what the game originally was versus what it is now with the remake. And I haven't played the remake myself. I plan to at some point, and I may play it on stream if there's enough interest in it after we play Dead Space 2. But with how popular it is right now, it would just be kind of crazy to play it right now. So we'll wait for, you know, things to calm down and everything. But from what I've seen and from what I've heard from other creators, the overall reviews of the game are amazing, and it definitely has earned like those reviews. Like, it is amazing. And I've already seen people speculating on if there's going to be a remake of the second game and all that stuff. And my first thought when I see that is, there better be. Because, oh, did I really turn that into a path block? I didn't mean to do that. Alright, let's put our dirt away before I forget and drop it off the cliff. Put our dirt away for now. Okay. With how much they've done in remaking the original Dead Space, I don't see why they wouldn't make a Dead Space 2 remake. The only one that's kind of questionable on whether they should make another one of is Dead Space 3. If they change the story a little bit and change how things went down, because when it comes to it, Dead Space 3 is kind of the weakest part of the series as a whole. Just because it doesn't really fit with what the storyline was before. Dead Space 2 kind of left you on a good note. Had an optimistic kind of ending to it. But if I'm remembering correctly, I might not be. But Dead Space 3 just kind of left you like, I don't know, traumatized? I don't know if that's the right word. I feel like that's kind of the right word. Oh, it didn't grow all the way. Shoot. I didn't think it was ready. But yeah, Dead Space 3 just kind of leaves you almost traumatized because you have no idea what's going to happen with the ending. I'm not going to spoil the ending for anybody, but it's not happy. It's not, you know, it's not what you were expecting to the end of a Dead Space game. So, I mean, the game's been out for God knows how long now. I don't even know. When did that come out? Let's take a quick break and check. 2013. Yeah, their development cycle was actually really short for those games. Because Dead Space 3 came out in 2013. Dead Space 2 was 2011. And the original Dead Space was 2008. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some cool things that they added in Dead Space 3. And I don't feel bad about talking about it. Because the game's been out for almost a freaking decade now. Actually, no. It has been a decade now. Because it was February 5th of 2013. I don't feel bad about, you know, talking about what's in the game. But the co-op was kind of cool. It's something that they actually added in a DLC for Dead Space 2 was co-op, which I thought was... I never actually played. but the game was more centered around co-op, because you've got Isaac Clarke, who is the main protagonist of Dead Space, of the Dead Space series. There are some spin-off stuff and other characters that could be considered mains of their spin-offs, but he's kind of your main, he's your well-known character for it. And he has a partner throughout the entire third game. So you can actually do all of Dead Space 3 co-op if you'd like. And it presents some interesting mechanics and interesting cooperation type aspects to it, that you have to cooperate or you'll be penalized kind of deal. It's not quite the penalizing that Portal 2 does with its co-op, because the co-op campaign of Portal 2 is nuts, and very punishing if you're not, cooperating with your fellow individuals. And we're all full up on food. That's good. Just waiting for another tree to grow. But let's just hide underneath our little block here. Because Portal 2 is much more punishing in terms of if you screw up, there's a penalty. But Dead Space 3 adds the co-op element, and it's not super punishing, but there is, some punishment to it, mainly in the form of annoying your other person that you're with. Another feature they added that I loved was the weapon customization. So in Dead Space 1 and 2, you can upgrade your weapons and modify them and get, extra damage and all this other stuff. But Dead Space 3 added weapon construction, so you could take bits and pieces of different weapons and put them together to make your own. If they had had more time to flesh it out a little bit more, and it wasn't quite as odd as it was a little clunky, that would have been an awesome weapon mechanic. But it just I think it kind of fell on its face because the whole game just felt like it was rushed. Which is understandable when your development cycle is literally 2 years, if that, between games. Which is unheard of now. I mean, the only games that really get away with it are the ones that have massive teams behind them, like your Activision games and your Blizzard games and all that stuff. But Blizzard doesn't make new games that frequently. I've noticed. Which, don't even get me started on Overwatch. That's a whole kettle of fish I don't want to get into. Anyway. So, while we're waiting for a tree to grow here, let me talk to you guys about what the plan is for this channel as a whole. And even while we're chopping down this tree, we can still talk about it. So, I kind of plan to do just a lot of chill stuff, but also we may get into more action-packed stuff as if demand grows for that sort of stuff. If there's any cool games that come out that we want to do, you guys are welcome to tell me, and if I can, if I can squeeze the game into the budget, we'll get it and we'll try it and see how it is. But we're probably gonna do some older games too. We may start doing one day a week that is like a classic game. But let me throw these in here for now, because we just got a lot of saplings, which is good. We may do classic games. We may do just some like indie games. Indie games can be really cool. Another apple for our collection. That's good. We may start doing more challenges. the plan had been Monday we were going to do a speed run, and we're going to try speed running Super Mario Odyssey, which is a game that I've seen speed run but never actually attempted myself. And I've always thought speedrunning was kind of an interesting subject in the gaming sphere because it requires both a love of games but also skill with those games. But to be honest, anybody can get into speedrunning. All it takes is practice and some hard work and an understanding of the game that you want to run. And the more familiar we get with a game, the more, the easier it becomes to run it, from my experience. But I'd like to get into doing that. Maybe some Super Mario Odyssey challenges down the road. That would be awesome. Stuff like, I know a lot of your big challenges have already been done at least once. And repeat content, you know, even a Skyblock is technically repeat content, but repeated content tends to not do as well. I've found, just in my own observations of gaming in general, people like new stuff, and if you're doing the same old thing that everybody else is doing, it tends to get a little boring. So Super Mario Odyssey challenges are something I'd like to do, but might not be feasible until I've got a bigger team behind me. Because right now it's just me. I'm really the only part of this. I know I had Nox as a moderator, but all the like content production and, you know, social media stuff is all kind of just on me. I run it one-man show. But let me just grab enough cobblestone here for some tools. I'm not like Small Ant, who says, oh, I want to do this challenge, and he has @ and Crafty Boss and all these other guys that are hella crazy modders. Because I've seen, like, I've watched some of Small Ant's streams where they're having technical difficulties, and Crafty Boss is just literally coding Super Mario Odyssey on the fly and making changes to the code on the fly, and it's like, geez, like if I knew people like that personally, that would make things so much easier, especially for doing challenges. But it's hard to produce unique content that's interesting for people. Excellent. Okay, we got some more wheat. Good. Let's grow some more wheat. We need food. And it's used for breeding animals. But, so if you guys have any ideas, like, for stuff that you think is interesting, even if another streamer has done it before, feel free to reach out on join the Discord, links in the About section on the page. Yeah, feel free to let me know if you have any challenge ideas or anything like that you think are cool. I'm more than willing to try them. They might not go well, because I am kind of a filthy casual when it comes to gaming still. I'm not like a super hardcore kind of guy, so I might screw things up, but it's fun nonetheless. Be a lot more boring if I were good at everything, right? I mean, but anyway, let's plant another tree and get some more oak planks and some slabs. So yeah, our tree farm is producing. Everything seems to be going pretty smooth. All right. There we go. Perfect. That's that chunk filled out. And then we'll probably do one out this way as well. But let's go chop down that tree. Excellent. Oh. Also, guys, I'm definitely open to collabing, so if there's any Twitch streamers that are looking for somebody to collab with, you know, wants to play a game or, you know, do a podcast style, you know, conversation hour. I absolutely love podcasts. One of my favorite podcasts is Distractable. So I'd be down to, you know, be on a podcast or play games or just, you know, hang out and chill and that sort of stuff. I am definitely down for that. So anybody who is interested, join the Discord. If you're a streamer as well, I'd love to collab with you. It would be my dream to collab with one of those bigger streamers like Small Ant or Grand Pooh Bear or any of those guys. But definitely a lot of work to get to a point where I'm actually of I can contribute to this stream in any meaningful way. But, you know, if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to follow. Goals to get to 50 followers. There's really no like time limit on that goal, but goals to get to 50 followers so we can get on the path to being an affiliate. So that way we can get you guys, you know, so you guys can start subscribing, getting emotes, and, you know, we can do more stuff for the channel. Because, to be honest, as just a general streamer, but not an affiliate, there's not a whole lot you can really do in terms of community engagement during streams. But yeah. Alright, so got more wood. Turn these into planks. Then we'll turn the planks into slabs. Okay. Okay. And if you guys are enjoying the music, like I've said previously, the music is provided by a company called Bass Rebels. I believe they're based out of the UK, at least their website is. But they provide music copyright free to streamers and content creators for use. It's free to use. You just have to credit them. You can check out their website. It's linked in the About section on our page. But yeah, so feel free to check them out. They've got some awesome stuff. They're constantly adding to their playlists. And while they own the copyright to the music, they don't do copyright strikes or anything on any content creators who use it, as long as they follow the rules for them. And if any of you are game developers or filmmakers or anything, they also offer licensing for use in films and games and all that stuff. Information's on their page. Just got to reach out to them. So yeah. All right. All right, chat. I'm going to step away for a second. It's going to be a moment here, bathroom break. So anybody watching the stream, feel free to take a break, get a drink, you know, kind of call it an intermission today. So I will be right back. Alright, and we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Alright, let's get back into the game, shall we? Click on linking here real quick. Alright. Perfect. So, everybody staying hydrated? So yeah. To be honest, I don't remember where we were left off at. Perfect. More wheat has grown. We can get more seeds. Okay. So yeah, we've started to get to a point here where we can start scaling everything up and kind of expanding. Alright. Let's go chop some more trees. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, super chill stream today, guys. Probably not going to go for the full 3 hours, just because, I don't know, I'm just kind of tired today, so, we may call it a little short, but we're going to try to make at least a little progress today. Another tree just grew, awesome. But yeah, if you guys are interested, we can definitely expand what we do here on the channel. Heck, if you guys want to like listening to me yammer on about topics that don't, you know, make too much of a difference in things, I'll gladly start a podcast if that's what people are wanting. I've always found podcasts kind of interesting. Like I said, I do watch Distractable, listen and watch, because they have the Distractable Podcast YouTube channel, and they upload a super kind of cutesy animation of the podcasts, which I think is kind of cool, because it's just three guys, Mark, Bob, and Wade, with kind of stylized versions of themselves, and the lips are synced to their to what they're saying, which I think is kind of cool. It's an interesting thing to do for a podcast. Ooh, pardon me. But anyway, I'm just gonna slowly build this out. All right. But anyway, really like their podcast. It's one of my favorites to listen to. And they just talk about the most random of BS. Anything that pops into their heads, they talk about. It's kind of an interesting podcast format. They do like a, for anybody who's not familiar, they do a kind of competition style podcast where basically from 1 week to the next, there's a different person who's quote-unquote hosting the podcast, and the host decides the topic of the podcast for that week, and they decide, and they, you know, compete with a kind of relatively arbitrary point system amongst each other to determine who will host the podcast the following week. And the judge decides how you earn points for your discussion on the topic. It's just an overall good time. They do talk about some stuff that's a little bit more serious. They're not really like a political or a religious podcast, but they do talk about some pretty serious stuff. That podcast is actually what spawned the critically acclaimed story that is Bob's Fridge, and all the hilarious bullshit that came around with that. I mean, I'd go into it, but you can literally just go on YouTube and search up Bob's Fridge, and you'll get both the a snippet from the podcast with the animated avatars, as well as an actual like series of animations from different animators that animated Bob's Fridge. It is hilarious. TLDR, one of the hosts, Bob, moved into a new house, had to buy a fridge. Buys a fridge. It's a pain in the butt to get the actual company to deliver said fridge. And when first attempt at the fridge delivery fails because the fridge is damaged when he gets it, so they have to take it back. And then the second time they go to deliver the fridge, the guys delivering his fridge destroy his house in the process. They do successfully deliver the fridge, so there is a fridge delivery, but it also destroys a good portion of his house in the process. So it's pretty hilarious. The guys, Mark, Bob, and Wade, are just kind of hilarious guys in general. There's some of your YouTube kings. They've been around for years. Mark has been doing YouTube since like 2013 in particular. But they're awesome guys. They're hilarious. I haven't met them in personally, but from interactions you hear about with fans and everything else, they're some of the nicest people in the world. Which I would like to try to be, when interacting with fans, either probably not in person. I don't plan to do any major in-person meetups anytime soon. Just because I do like having my privacy as a streamer. But down the road, maybe I'll, set up a virtual meet and greet, where people can chat, and maybe one day we'll do a VR chat thing if I can ever get a proper VR headset working. But yeah. So that's kind of one of the things I plan to do down the road. I think we'll expand out into this chunk too, just because we got the slabs for it. But what I'd like to see from the channel is just creating a community where everybody can kind of come together with no judgment. We're all individuals that have our own, our own quirks and pasts that we really don't want to have to worry about. So, want to make it a place where everybody can come together. We can watch some goofy moron, aka me, play whatever game takes our fancy, and interact with each other, chat, and have a good old time, and laugh, and just forget about our troubles for a while. That's kind of the whole point of this stream, is for everything to be smooth and quiet and relaxed. That's why I chose to go with the music that I did, because it's all kind of, like, there's some energetic stuff to it, but it's usually pretty chill. I like the chill atmosphere. I like, being able to chat with you guys and, share what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. And I will say, being a streamer myself now gives me great appreciation for other streamers who just spend, hours and hours and hours prepping for streams and everything else. Because my stream prep starts like first thing in the morning when I wake up. I start working on figuring out, what I want to talk about on stream, and making sure that all my hardware is working properly, and software. But it seems like no matter how much I prep and how much work I do, there's always something dumb that happens just before stream starts that either interrupts the flow or makes things more difficult. I don't know. It's the flow of things is kind of always a little tricky. Despite being an experienced IT professional in my day-to-day, like, stream IT stuff is different. When you're doing IT, you don't really work with streamers very often. Streamers are a very small majority of people that are using computers, or very small minority, I would say. So in your day-to-day operations as running an IT company or doing anything in IT, you don't come across people who are like, oh, I need help setting up, OBS or whatever, or any of these other programs. It's typically, big businesses and people like that need IT work done. And hell, you'll still run into some people that are running like Windows 7, Windows 8, and are trying to run like brand new programs that are like, nope, Windows 10 only. And you have to explain to them that they need to upgrade to a newer version of Windows, and they need new hardware and all this other stuff, and it's like gagging with a spoon sometimes. But I still love it. Like, I still love this sort of stuff. It's my passion. I love working on computers. I love helping people with computer-related issues. Because I don't know how many times I've come across people who are having an issue, and this issue has been plaguing them for months and months and months and months, and they just cannot figure it out. They've learned to cope with it, but it still impedes their, the functionality of their machine. Like, they'll have just something minor, like a pop-up that's constantly popping up when they're trying to do something. Or you'll have a gamer who's got a computer that keeps, tabbing out of their game on them. And when the relief that you see on their face when, you're able to, walk up to their computer, take a look at it, do your standard troubleshooting, kind of dig through it and figure out what's going on, and you're able to actually help them. The relief on their face when that happens is just, it's worth it, man. It is worth it. Because people say working with children is rewarding. They clearly never worked with somebody who's struggled with a computer issue for weeks on end, only for it to be solved, finally. Now, you don't always get that. Sometimes you run into the issue where you've, tried every trick you have in the book and nothing works. Sometimes those problems just aren't solvable. And those are the worst. But the more time you spend in the field, the more you realize that those kinds of problems are very few and far between. And even then, most of those problems can solve just by reinstalling Windows. It's a pain. Like, 9 times out of 10, reinstalling Windows should be your last resort, because it is the most annoying thing to have to do to a computer. Especially one that's clogged up with a person's files that you have to transfer all of them off, or anything like that. But try to make that your last resort. But it's the kind of stuff where there isn't a computer problem out there that can't be solved with enough elbow grease and enough time. So yeah. Let's eat some more berries here. Perfect. Okay. Let's try to finish this guy out. Alright. So, we've made some serious progress today. We've expanded this platform quite a bit. It now encompasses... when I'm done over here, it's going to encompass 5 whole chunks, which is awesome. The more surface you have to work with, the more room we have for activities, the more stuff we can get done. I think next time, which, unless something changes, will probably be next Tuesday, so about a week from today, we'll be doing another one of these streams, and we'll probably work on a mob farm, our first rudimentary mob farm. And we're just gonna throw these in just to finish this out, because I think I know stream's kind of short today, guys, and I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling that well today, so I think we'll call it here. Made some decent progress. Our farms are up and running. Our wheat farm is slowly growing. Hopefully we can expand that next time. We did make it to the nether, so the nether is open to us. And our portal does work. So I'm just gonna do that so we have a nice little ramp up to it. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it here. Next time we're gonna work on getting a mob farm, and expanding our platform a little bit more, and maybe we'll go off to some more islands and see what we can do. But thanks for joining me today, guys. Appreciate it. Like I've said before, all the VODs get uploaded to YouTube within 48 hours typically. They're unedited, they go straight to the VODs channel. Channel's link is in the description, well, in the about section, along with the Discord. Feel free to join. I want to make it super active, have a bunch of you guys on there so we can all, chill and hang out and, talk about stream and what we want to see down the road and all that stuff. So I'm signing off. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be doing... what are we doing tomorrow? We are doing Minecraft Dungeons tomorrow, so kind of more Minecraft, but not really. Minecraft Dungeons is the Diablo-style version of Minecraft, so there'll be a lot more interesting, stuff to actually do. It's gonna be interesting. I've only played it a couple times, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, I'm signing off, guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Dancing all night.